5 breathing techniques to regulate your nervous system. Oh, I know. Hermione is very needy today. Me and my family, we went away for the weekend. We went to a lake. I feel like nothing brings you more joy than your kids like having a blast at the lake. But now she's needy because, the cats were left home alone. So today, I thought it'd be useful to talk about 5 different breathing techniques that you can use to regulate your nervous system. Now, I want to be clear before I dive into this that all these different breathing techniques, they're going to look a little bit different person to person, and they're going to feel different person to person because no one nervous system is exactly the same. So different things will affect us. But these are 5 different techniques that I use often to really help myself regulate. So, whether you're in a sympathetic state or a dorsal vagal state, they can be really useful to bring in a little bit of that ventral energy. And that's what we need in order to recover from neuroplastic pain, mind-body concerns, chronic pain or symptoms in general. We need to create a sense of safety in our brain and nervous system. And so shifting to a ventral vagal state of safety and connection really can help you heal. And I really like them, these techniques, because they're so accessible. You can use them anywhere, anytime. Even, in between sending emails, I might use a few of them just to regulate myself. Because throughout our day, we can't just regulate our nervous system once in the morning and be done. Throughout our day, our nervous system, it shifts, and that's what it's supposed to do. But when we're caught in this chronic sympathetic or dorsal vagal state, we're just always on high alert, or we're feeling really low and shut down. And so we want to have some simple techniques in our back pocket that we can do to shift and bring in a bit more of that ventral energy. So I'll go through these with you. I was going to try and do them without Hermione here, but we'll give this a shot with her here. So the first one that I want to cover really comes down to, a mix of breathing and soothing touch. So what I typically do is put my hands like this. I'm going to move her before we do this. What I typically do is you put your hands like this, just across your chest. And what you want to do is you want to put the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth as you do this. Now, with all these breathing techniques, especially if you're in a sympathetic or dorsal vagal state, what you want to do is you want to make the exhale longer than the inhale, because that can help our system regulate. And so what it looks like is you put your hands like this, tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and let's just practice a couple of them. And as you do this, practice breathing out of your mouth, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And right now, it's just checking in. With each of these techniques, it's just checking in and noticing somatically, how has it affected your nervous system? What's changed or shifted? So that's the first one. The second breathing technique is resistance breathing. And so what this looks like is you breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, you pierce your lips, and it's like you're blowing out through a straw with a little bit of resistance. So just practice a couple of these. And then it's just checking in again, noticing what's changed, what's shifted in your body. How has this affected your nervous system? And what you'll probably notice is with each of these 5 different techniques, they're going to affect your system a bit differently. And they're not all going to be a good fit. I want to be clear about that. So it can take some exploring. And I always recommend, exploring this with a therapist because they can guide you more. I always tell people, my videos, they're not therapy. I'm just providing education and information. But, a trained therapist, especially a therapist that's trained more in polyvagal work or, some type of somatic approach, will know a lot of these. So that's breathing technique number 2. Now, the third one, this is one of my favorites, is just sighing. The sigh really helps our nervous system regulate. So let's just practice a couple of these. Just check in again. Notice how it's affected your system. Now we can move on to the 4th technique. Now with this one, it involves rocking or swaying gently. So what I like to do is cross my arms, kind of like you're giving yourself a hug. Even as I do this, it feels a little bit warm and fuzzy inside. And what you do is you just breathe nice and slow. And everyone's going to rock or sway a bit differently. But just notice what your body needs as you kind of sway back and forth. Just really being aware as you breathe slowly and sway, how it affects your system. And the other one is just rocking. So just doing a gentle rock back and forth. And again, just checking in, noticing what's changed. How has this technique affected your nervous system? And now we'll move on to the last technique. In this one, I know Deb Dana talks about this one a lot. It's extension and flexion. And so it just, really involves moving your arms just subtly. Now I know this channel's for chronic pain, so of course, this is triggering your pain. This is not the technique for you. If you have arm pain or shoulder pain or anything of that nature. But it can be, really wide as we breathe in and out, or it can be really small. So what you do is you breathe in and you move your arms out. And as you breathe out, you move your arms in. Just pairing the movement with the breath. And this is going to look a little bit different person to person. Some people might really open their arms up. For some people, the movement's really small, especially if we're in a dorsal state. Maybe it's just gentle, slow movement at first. Just checking in with your system, noticing what's changed, what's shifted. And so these are 5 breathing techniques that can be helpful in terms of mind-body healing and regulating our nervous system. So I hope this video was helpful. Please put your questions or comments down below. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you all next time. Take care.